There are some massive industries right now being disrupted in the e-commerce space. And in today's video, I want to highlight one of these trends that's disrupting a 200 plus billion-dollar industry. And I want to talk about what it means for e-commerce and just some ideas in general that we can hopefully take away for our own businesses and get inspired by. So the trend that I'm talking about today is called tallow balm. So what tallow balm is basically beef tallow, so beef fat that you can rub on your face to have better skin. Now I have a big Reddit post here that is pretty interesting. So this is in a subreddit called Skincare Addiction with 4.5 million members. By the way, Reddit is kind of a really good place actually to do product and market research and also to pay attention to if you have a brand that's growing, right? You definitely want to be on Reddit intentionally, or at the very least monitoring it. At least from my point of view, it seems like that's a good idea. So this girl basically just made a huge post. I don't know if this is real or not, about Vanman and their tallow, and saying how it basically, really helped her skin a ton. So we're going to look at Vanman and their store. We've done this before. Vanman is kind of a legendary figure in the money Twitter space, and his brand has become so big, which is actually so cool to see, so inspiring. And this trend is just perfectly, he surfed this trend perfectly and also in a very authentic way. Like, I don't think he really knew about the trend or anything. He just kind of pursued his own passion and it landed him to where he is today. Now, his store is so incredibly simple, and that's one of the big things that I want to highlight. Now, I do want to also show you the 200 billion plus market size of the skincare category. I mean, right now it's at 146, or that was in 2021. These estimates are always up and down. Like, we can just kind of talk about it at 200 billion and it's not that big of a deal. It's somewhat accurate. Either way, the point is, this is a huge, huge trend and a huge market that is being disrupted by beef fat. It's just so funny and just really interesting. We're living in some very interesting cultural times, right? Because I would have guessed that animal products would go more and more extinct. And to be honest, I actually do think that will be the case over time. Not that that matters, but that's just my opinion. I think over time, right, like in the next 100 years, we'll look back at animal products as sort of like a savage thing, or just more primitive, right? Whether or not that's good or bad, that's not what we're talking about here. But interestingly enough, a lot of people are using beef tallow and kind of going against the normal chemical ridden beauty or skincare products that are out there. People are realizing, you know what, maybe with just very simple methods, I'm able to have better skin. Now on TikTok Shop, this trend is also being capitalized on massively. And actually, I think this is one of the biggest reasons why it's blowing up, which is a really interesting argument that we could talk about too. I would love your opinion, but I wonder whether or not TikTok is adding fuel to the fire on this trend, or if this would have happened regardless. I think it is adding fuel to the fire because people are making some insane videos on TikTok. I can show you, I guess, a few of them real quick here on Callow Data. And by the way, if you do want some exclusive access to Callow Data discounts, you can find some in the Ecommerce Discord, which is always a really cool thing you can use in order to find the latest resources that I have, right? So interesting Shopify deals. We have a huge community here. This is actually where I found this trend, is through our researchers here in the Ecommerce Accelerator Research Center. And we also have our sourcing agent here who I've used to ship out thousands and thousands of orders very fast directly from China. So as you see, let me go show you some of the videos. They're like on the same exact style. If you see, all the top like 10 videos literally all have the same exact hook, and they're using these like, sort of, I don't even know what to call this style, but they're just showing like a presentation basically around how big skincare is kind of lying to you, and they're using a bunch of different snippets from celebrities and things like that. I'm not sure. I don't think you can run this stuff as paid ads, but it's certainly working extremely well to add fuel to the fire and create just a really massive trend around beef tallow. So Vanman is capitalizing on paid ads though, and I think that's why his brand is so big. He really understands the mix of organic and paid. So he's running a lot of paid ads that are very branded. Like, I really love these ads, just simple static ads, right, that are very compelling. But then on Instagram, he is posting a ton of interesting memes, and this has actually been one of the main strategies that has driven so much growth for him, is just posting memes. So this one, for example, from the other day, got 12,000 likes. This is from 18 hours ago, so he's posting like multiple times a day, and I love to see that. I think that's so cool, and I'm always a big proponent of mixing organic strategies with paid strategies. Like, I love the idea of, for example, just running meta ads and posting memes, or just posting on your own page organically, or getting affiliates to promote your page. Both of those things combined are super powerful. So, and you can see that in the data, right? You can see just how big this brand has scaled, but then also through TikTok Shop. I think TikTok Shop is the biggest example of that, because if we look at the top TikTok shops, they're all being driven by organic affiliates, like people that are just posting about the brand organically, but then the brands are taking some of that best content and running it as ads. I mean, it's really simple, to be honest. It's simple, not easy, but it is simple. And yeah, ultimately, I just found this trend to be quite interesting, so I wanted to share it with you guys. Again, I found this through the e-commerce Chemi Lab Accelerator, but I have also been seeing this trend for a long time, for at least a year. So I definitely am interested to see how this will pan out. This definitely looks like an up and to the right trend. However, I'm definitely starting to think about what's next, right? What's next with the tallow balm and the animal-based product skincare stuff, right? Like, what's going to be next? Because I think this will top out at some point, and I don't know when, probably years into the future, but I would just wonder what's going to be next, right? I think it's worthwhile to pay attention to people like Brian Johnson right now, who are kind of pioneering different things in the longevity and in general wellness category, which is so massive. So I'm definitely paying attention to what he's doing. I definitely want to see some of the data that he's finding, and trying to incubate or acquire brands within those categories, or invest in companies in those categories. But we'll see what happens, right? I mean, this is also interesting to me. I've never tried using beef tallow myself, so I can't really say how well the product works or what it's like, but clearly people love it, right? Clearly people are all about it. I wonder if you would smell like beef fat. You definitely wouldn't want to be caught with some beef fat on your face if you're like stranded in a forest or something. Some bears are probably gonna find you. But yeah, I love this marketing strategy. I just love the simplicity of the Vanman's whole store. He's got his vision on here, which is super cool. I think that always helps with creating just like a nice foundation for your business. Okay, this is like having trouble loading. I don't know why. Oh, okay. So it didn't work. Whatever. Maybe it's just my internet. But I love the simplicity of this. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. That's a really good quote. And I think they personify that perfectly. I really mainly just wanted to talk about the trend though. So yeah, let me know what you think, and definitely let me know some of what you think is next, right? Maybe let me know some other interesting breakout categories as a result of tallow balm, right? I'm always trying to think of second order consequences too. But let's, decentralize this thought process. I want to know what you think. So you should also join the Chemi Lab Discord, because that's where we communicate. It is free to join. Of course, we do have paid channels where we're, spending a lot of money on research softwares and researchers and stuff like that. But we do have a free channel that you can join, so we can discuss these ideas in there as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was insightful in some way, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.